Everybody is like our brothers and sisters is what the poet is trying to tell over here. The land on which the soldier is walking, our brothers are walking. Is that different? No, it is like ours only. That all can recognize and understand. So if you look at another person, he also will have two eyes, one nose, one mouth. So like this. Alliteration is nothing but the repetition of same sound in the beginning of the word. Hello everyone. I am Dr. Shalini, Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Today we are here to understand one of the poems prescribed by University of MYSURU for 2nd Sem B.Ca. Today we are going to understand about No Men Are Foreign. So this is a poem written by James Kirkup. This is a wonderful poem. So let us see what is there in today's module. Today we are going to understand about the poet to begin with, then we will move on to the theme, then we are understanding the summary, at last we'll understand the literary devices that are used in this poem by the poet. So let us begin by the introduction of the poet. So he is James Kirkup and he was an English poet. He has written more than 30 books which includes autobiographies, novels and also plays. Then many of his poems recall his childhood days where he was staying in the northeastern part. These poems are also actually featured in some publications. So he is quite a very famous poet. This poem especially is very famous because of the theme that is there in this poem. So let us see what is the theme of this poem that is there. It is the human earth we defile. We are living here, which is a home for humans. So what is the main thing we have to concentrate here? We need to concentrate on the 4 lines that are very important in this poem. That is, our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. So here he has included this line, no men are foreign. That means what is he trying to propagate? What is he trying to tell the readers? He is trying to tell that it is a universal appeal for brotherhood. Everybody is like our brothers and sisters is what the poet is trying to tell over here. So humanity all over the world is alike, like wherever we go, humanity is alike, isn't it? The culture may vary, the food may vary, and the practices we happen to do is all these varies. But what is alike? It is humanity that exists everywhere. If a man is destroying another nation, he is actually destroying himself and the entire humanity. So this is what the effect that is going to give on humanity. This is the impression that others will have when one nation is destroying the other nation. So let us now get into the poem. We'll start with the first stanza. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. So here the poet is beginning to say that no men are strange. That means everybody is alike. We know everybody. So how do we know everybody? Why are they not strange? When we don't know somebody, we call them as strangers. But here he says no men are strange. That is because all the human beings are alike. It is not necessary that we should understand the other person. It is not necessary that we should know the other person, but it is something different. No country is foreign. We should not treat the other countries as foreign countries. Why is that so? Yes, there is a reason which the poet says, which the poet gives in the coming stanzas. Let us go through now. Beneath all uniforms. So here you can guess when he is telling about uniforms, he might be talking about soldiers. Fine, he is talking about soldiers here, and a single body breathes. Beneath all the uniforms, a single body breathes means there is a person, there is a human being below that uniform which he is wearing. Like ours. So a single body breathes like ours. So is that soldier something different? Does he have horns? Does he have a crown on him? No, nothing like that. It is only the human body that is similar. He is similar to us, isn't it? So here, the land our brothers walk upon is like this, in which we all shall lie. So the land on which the soldier is walking, our brothers are walking, is that different? No, it is like ours only. We might be walking on a different flooring, but the land which we are walking on is all the same. It is the same earth on which we all are living, we all are walking. So here the poet is talking about the brothers. That means he is calling the foreigners also as our brothers. That means we treat them on a humanitarian grounds. Okay, so they are also our brothers. They are also very much similar to us. So here is the beginning message that the poet gives in the first stanza. Then the second stanza, they too aware of sun and air and water. So here he repeats and. Okay, so there is repetition. So they too aware of sun means they are also getting the same sun, the same air and the same water. Isn't it? The taste may vary, but water is the same. Isn't it? Are fed by peaceful harvest. Yes, they are also getting the same air, water, sun, everything, and they are also fed by the peaceful harvest. Isn't it? So they also eat the crops that are grown by farmers. So that is all the same. So whatever is going on there, whatever they are facing, even we are facing. Isn't it? Whatever they are experiencing, even we are bound to experience that. Whatever we experience, even they are bound to experience that. So however they get the harvest, however they are eating, it is all the same as we are getting it. By war's long winter starved. Whenever there is a war going on, probably they will be starving. Winter also may be starving there. So during wars, they also starve. During winter, they also starve. Whereas when they harvest, it is all peacefully done. Nothing they do in a hurry. They do nothing in urgency. So everything is peaceful. Their hands are ours. So their hands also are like ours only. Do they have something different? Are their hands something different? No, nothing like that. Their hands are similar to what we have, isn't it? And their lines we read, a labor not different from our own. We are working in some way, even they are working in one or the other way. The way we work might be different, but what we are experiencing, the hardships we might experience or the happiness we might experience when we are working, that is all the same. Maybe you are doing it out of passion or maybe you are doing it out of necessity. That is different. Why you are working, that is different. But even they are working, we are also working. So everything is the same. In their hands, the lines what they have in their hands, in the palms, that is also same. Isn't it? So they also have wrinkles, we also have wrinkles in hand, and they also have lines, we also have lines in our hands. So everything is similar. A labor is something you call for work. You say work, right? So that one. So work is not very much different from our own. So we are working based on our needs and necessities, or maybe out of passion also. So that is what the poet is talking about in the second stanza. The third stanza, remember they have eyes like ours that wake. So eyes even they have, and those eyes also wake up. Okay, even they are able to open their eyes or sleep. Even they are able to sleep the way we do. Isn't it? The way we sleep is different, but their eyes will be open when they are awake and closed when they are sleepy. Okay, and strength that can be won by love. They also have that love. They also have that strength that they can win by love. So suppose we love somebody as a brother or a sister, or we show some other person the humanity what we have to show, yes, then we win over that person. There is nothing we have to wage a war and then win over that country. No, nothing like that. You start loving somebody, then they will win, and that love should be unconditional. Okay, so in that time you win over that person. In every land is common life. So here the poet is talking about the whole world. In every land, he is talking about the whole world wherein there is common life. So life is common. How they are born, how they lead their life. So everything is the same. The physiological similarities that are there. So that is what the poet is comparing, that all can recognize and understand. So if you look at another person, he also will have two eyes, one nose, one mouth, so like this. So all that external features will be the same. So everybody is able to recognize and understand whatever that person has. So this is what the poet tells in the third stanza. So here he is talking about the external features that are same. Okay, so he is talking about human beings who look alike. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Here, let us remember, whenever we are told, means we as children would not be hating anybody. But as we grow up, we get to know the stories of our ancestors by our parents. This is an example I am giving you. So, when you get to know those stories, you may start hating some people. Maybe there is a family rivalry between two families and you start hating somebody. So, how did you develop this hatred? Did that person do something wrong on you? Nothing, right? That person might not even have shown his face to you, or maybe you might not even have met that person. Still, you hate him. Why? We will be told to hate those people. We will be told in such a way that we ourselves start developing hatred. So this is just an example which is related to our family. But when we go to higher scale, that is between states or maybe between countries, isn't it? We have to hate some country, means then we get to know so many, we are told so many stories, we are told so many facts that makes us start hating that country or maybe start hating that state. So this way people, the elders, the ancestors who are there, they start telling us to hate our brothers. So now the poet is treating everybody as his brothers. Okay, so here our ancestors are telling us to hate our brothers, means to hate few people. So what happens? What happens when they tell us to hate and we start hating? It is ourselves whom we are exhibiting, we are exposing. It is ourselves that we shall dispossess. It is about us we are showing. It is hatred among us which is being exposed here. Fine. So betray, we cheat on somebody, we hurt somebody, then we are condemned. That means when we start hating somebody, people start condemning us. Okay, they start feeling bad about us because we cannot show love towards them. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Arms means this thing, ammunition what you take. Okay, the weapons what you use. Okay, arms also means weapons here. So when we are asked to take weapons, when we are asked to face somebody by taking up weapons, that means we are asked to wage a war against somebody, then it is we who are getting exposed and not that hatred that is going to be shown over there. Yes, it is, as you know, hatred is actually an abstract noun, isn't it? You cannot see hatred, but you can see people who are hating each other. It is we who expose ourselves when we start hating somebody. Okay, so in this stanza he is telling who is at fault whenever somebody tells us to hate somebody. So that is what the poet is telling over here. It is the human earth we defile, means the human earth, the place in which on which we are living, right? So that is what we are going to defile, we are going to hurt, or maybe we are going to just leave aside, we are not going to treat it with respect. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. So here it is our earth we are harming. Our hells of fire and dust. So hells here talks about the place, the peace that is spoiled due to our hatred. Hatred means fire and dust. So you wage a war, you take up arms against somebody, you wage a war. Then what happens? The heaven, the earth which was a heaven, so that will be changed to hell. Okay, all bad things start happening there. People kill other people, they start destroying that country and all. And finally what happens? Heaven is in a moment turned into hell. So hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence means they are exploiting. Outrage to exploit the innocence. That air was so pure. Okay, that innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Doesn't that air belong to us also? Yes. Does the air of Mysore belong to us, and doesn't the air of Bangalore belong to us? Isn't it? Environment is ours. It is the nature which we are exploiting because of this war, because of the weapons that we are using on the other country. So, we are destroying the nature, we are destroying the innocence of air. That means we are exploiting the environment to the maximum extent. So, that is what we should not be doing. What should we remember according to poet? Poet, what should we remember? We should remember that no men are foreign. Nobody is foreign to us. Nobody is a stranger to us, and no country is strange. We should not be treating other countries as strange countries. Okay, so we should treat all the people, like even if the other country people also, we should treat them as brothers and sisters. We should be treating them with humanity. So that is what the poet is giving a message here. Okay, so now we'll move on to the literary devices that are there. There are a lot of instances where you come across, there are a lot of lines wherein you come across the same literary devices in many other places, but I am giving you one example each for literary device, and it is good if you recognize the other places where these literary devices are exhibited. You may get such questions for 1 mark questions. Okay, so first we'll look at the first literary device, that is repetition. Repetition is nothing but repetition of same word in the same line, not in the alternate line. Alternate line, it is anaphora. Now repetition in the same line, it is repetition only. So here you can see, here he repeats no, the word no. No men are strange, no countries are foreign. So here no is repeated, and I already gave you one more example, that is and. When I was explaining the poem to you, so that time I showed you this word and which was repeated. Then alliteration, we have alliteration also. Alliteration is nothing but the repetition of same sound in the beginning of the word. So it is like a rhythm that is repeated. So here you can see, beneath all uniforms a single body breathes. So b sound is repeated. Fine. So in which v sound is repeated. Fine. So this is called as alliteration, repetition of same sound in the beginning of the word in a line. Then we have consonants. Assonance and consonants, hope you remember. Consonants is repetition of consonant sound. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound. Fine. There might be instances wherein vowel sound could have repeated, but I have not included it here. It's good you go and search for that. And we'll now come to consonants. Consonants is the repetition of consonant sound in a line. So here you can see, we all shall lie. So l sound is repeated over here. It's a combination of repetition in the middle and the beginning. If it is alliteration, it has to be in the beginning only, but if it is consonants, it's a combination. It can be only in the middle, or it's a combination of repetition of beginning and the middle of the word. Then we have enjambment. Enjambment is seen in those poems which are written in free verse. So why do you find that in the poems which are written in free verse? That is because free verse will not have rhyming words. So free verse will never have rhyming words. So that's the reason this enjambment can be found over here. So whenever there is no rhyming words, so that sentence doesn't end over there. So it may be true in this poem, but it may not be true in few poems. Fine. It is not that whenever it is written in free verse, it should not have a rhyming word. But usually whenever it is written in free verse, we have this enjambment here. Whenever there is an enjambment, the poem will be written in free verse, the other way. Okay. So coming to enjambment, the sentence doesn't end in that line only. It goes on, it moves on, it continues in the next line also. It ends somewhere in the middle, and again another sentence, new sentence begins from the middle of the line. So here you can see, beneath all uniforms a single body breathes like ours. So here the sentence doesn't end. It is not ending over here, it is continuing over here, and it stops over here. So semicolon shows that the sentence has stopped, it is complete, and then the next sentence starts. Hope you remember, whenever you are combining two sentences using a semicolon, you need not have to use a capital letter when you are beginning the next sentence. Okay, so here you can see it is the beginning of another sentence and it is in the middle. This structure is called as enjambment. Okay, so there are many such examples in this poem. Then at last we have metaphor. Metaphor is something you compare. Okay, simile and metaphor, both of them you compare, but simile you use words like as and like. But metaphor you don't do that. It is like this itself is that. So that is how you compare that. So here you can see are hells of fire and dust. So here you are talking about hells. You want to compare that hells to fire and dust. That means you are telling how bad hell is. Okay, so heaven, usually you have that picture, right? Heaven means everything will be calm and peaceful, whereas hell is something different, isn't it? So this way it is something which has fire and dust. So this hell is of fire and dust. This itself is what the comparison that is being done here, and this is called as metaphor. So altogether I have listed 5 different literary devices over here. You may find 2 or 3 more. You may find anaphora, you may find assonance, which I have not listed here. Okay, so please make sure you go back to the poem and read it and find out. And also there will be more examples for the ones which I have already listed here. Okay, hope this session was useful to you. So let us meet again in another more interesting topic. So I'm going to come back with another poem for you. Okay, so let us meet again very shortly. Thank you so much for your time. Let us meet again. Keep learning. Take care. Bye-bye.